I was in my teenage years going to high school, I went to art school and we kind of studied in different areas, painting, drawing, uh, photography. So we would work in the dark room. I kind of had a little bit of an interest, but I was too distracted at the time still. And in college, I did sculpture and photography. My mind moves kind of constant and rapidly, so it's kind of photography could keep up with me in a way where I could sit and draw and kind of do that for 8 hours, but I couldn't get as many of my ideas out or capture as much as I was kind of interested in capturing. I lean towards the more natural side of things, even when it comes to taking a portrait. So we'll kind of have it staged, but I kind of like to bring the individual into their comfort level. You want the picture to look like the person, to feel like their natural smile, not some kind of forced. Once I kind of say hi to them and kind of chat with them a little bit, tell them to kind of bring their ideas in and just let them know that they're a part of it, that I'm not going to be kind of this control freak photographer. Pre-shoot for weddings I think is very important because you have that time, they get to see how you shoot and how you work and they feel comfortable. You know, when it comes time to the weddings day, once they kind of see what we were able to capture at the pre-event. Shooting a bar mitzvah boy and a bar mitzvah girl, there is a huge difference. Some of the boys, for example, they're in their cell phone the whole time and they're not really into it. What I like to do with the boys is I'll integrate more of their family members into the pictures, let them have fun with their siblings, and then kind of pull them aside and do individual portraits. Because with the girls, for example, they want to jump right in, kind of change their clothes and do some posing. So they don't kind of need to break the ice as much. So also with the boys, the same thing. I'll kind of show them their images, see what works for them, what they're happy with. You could tell by the reactions and just reading people. I consider myself to be kind of in tune with people and their emotions. So I try and feel people out. My strengths might be that I'm kind of always interested and no matter where I look, like I'll look in one direction, I see an image, I already have the other two images in my mind that are happening behind my back that I kind of caught from the corner of my eye. So just kind of, I don't get bored with it. I'm kind of always looking for a creative angle. My favorite part of weddings is actually the ceremony because there is nothing posed about it. I do love the natural moments that are happening. That's kind of most important to me. You can capture the most beautiful moments. The bride might get a tear in her eye or, you know, just kind of the way they're looking at each other or holding hands without, they're not posing for me. I'm, you know, 20 feet away with the long lens and they're kind of doing their own thing and I'm spying a little bit. Mitzvahs, I'd have to say the speeches. I'm a parent, so just kind of seeing the relationships between the kids with their parents. I mean, I found myself getting tears in my eyes sometimes and I'm like, stop. It just happens. It's like you can't ignore kind of the love that you're seeing around you. Well, Reese was obsessed with Friends, the television program, and Reese Ross, so she was like very excited about that. We just kind of started at the Friends building because that was iconic for her and just kind of worked our way around. So it was kind of like a free-flowing thing. So wherever we saw an environment that looks kind of interesting or, hey, would you like to shoot here, that she was interested in, sometimes once you kind of give them their room to shoot what they want to shoot, then they're more willing to go with your ideas. So that's what I kind of do, a back and forth. Yeah, and we wound up in Washington Square Park and she wasn't afraid of birds. I'm like, hey, there's that guy with the pigeons. You want to see if you can get the pigeons on you? Gave him a quarter or whatever and he put the bird feed in her hands and she had birds all over her. Just had a ball with it. So I like when people are kind of willing to go with the flow and see what happens, and that's when you kind of get the magic moments sometimes.